Welcome to the Ravens Records, a little side quest to our Without a Candle podcast. I'm Karlie, your host, here to help you dig just a little deeper into the mysteries of mythology, magic, and personal transformation. So whether you're walking the wheel or just figuring out your own path, you're in the right place. Let's open the records together. Our last quest was in the realm of feeling, of golden tears and fierce wanting. This one goes a little deeper, below feeling, below wanting, the place where the soil of the self goes. This is a side quest into descent, into the sacred geography of the underworld and its Norse sovereign, Hel, daughter of the trickster Loki and the giantess Angrboda. She is often portrayed as monstrous, half flesh-colored, half bluish-black. She rules over the realm of the same name, Hel, where those who did not die in battle go. A place not of torment, but of cold, mist, and quiet. She is not the devil, and she is not a torturer. She is the administrator of endings, the keeper of the space between dissolution and whatever comes next. And in that, she offers us perhaps the most crucial map for the part of healing we never want to discuss. The breakdown before the breakthrough, the mandatory winter. In myths, heroes don't go to Hel to fight her. They go to retrieve something, to get information, to bring somebody back. The journey itself, down, roots, across a bridge, into the cold mist, is the ordeal. Hel herself is often calm, placeable, logical. She states the rules of her realm. What comes in rarely leaves. She is the embodiment of a stark, necessary truth. Some states are not for fighting. They are for inhabiting. This is the shadow work that isn't about battling a monster in the dark. It is about learning to sit in a throne room of the Queen of the Dark herself. To stop seeing the descent as a prison sentence and start recognizing it as a sovereign realm with its own laws, its own pace, its own purpose. And that purpose? Disintegration. Not as a failure, but as a function. The nervous system's freeze state is not a glitch. It is Hell's Gates closing for a reason. It is a biological and spiritual mandate. Stop. The old ways of moving, striving, feeling, they have led here to this cold hall. They are, for now, incompatible with life. So in life, in its brutal wisdom, contracts. It sends you down below the fighting, below the feeling, into the quiet where the only sound is a slow settling of bones. The modern parallels are not metaphors. They are direct experiences. Clinical depression is not a bad attitude. It is Hell's realm. A world bleached of color and motivation, where time stretches and contracts oddly. The soul is in her hall. Burnout collapse is not a lack of resilience. It is a forced descent. The psyche, having ignored all subtle warnings, now enforces a hell journey. and it will make you stop. Trauma freeze is not cowardice. It is the self-preserving wisdom of the nervous system choosing the cold quiet of hell over the inhalating fire of overwhelm. Hell's modern angle is this. Why must healing start in the dark places? Because the light only parts of you, parts that perform, achieve, smile, are not the whole self. They are the summer self. And summer plants need winter soil. The dark, quiet, disintegrating place of where the compost is made, where the untendable structures of the ego, the shoulds, the old stories, the unsustainable ways of being are finally allowed to break down into the essential nutrients. You do not fix the realm of hell. You do not cheer up disintegration. You surrender to its process. You let the old identity die there. You let the ambitions frost over. You let the grief turn cold and still. Under hell's impassive gaze, the performance finally ends. And in that terrible, necessary silence, something can begin to listen. Not for a way out, but for the truth of the place itself. This is the initiatory wisdom of the Queen of the Dead. You must lose the world to find yourself. The healing that starts in the light often just redecorates the same crumbling palace. The healing that starts in Hell's Hall begins with the palace turning to dust. You, shivering, half alive, half something else, still sitting there in a throne of your own bones, realizing I am still here. Even this is a place I can be. So the question hell poses to us is not, how do I get out of here? The first truly revolutionary question is, what if I stopped trying to escape? What if this freeze state is not my enemy, but my system's deepest, wisest sanctuary? What is being preserved in the cold storage, and what old, burning, exhausting version of me is actually dying here? And what remains when the noise fades? Healing starts in the dark places, because that is where the lies we have built in the light finally lose their power to illuminate. It's where we are forced to see by touch, not by sight. To know by presence, not by story. Hell does not promise resurrection. Odin gets that. She promises truth. The truth of endings. The truth of cold. The truth of what you are when every external source of warmth is removed. And in that truth, terrifying, still, and vast, lies a paradoxical kind of power. The power of the seed in frozen ground, the power of the nerve that has gone quiet, the power of having touched the bottom and forced it to be not an abyss, but a foundation. When you finally walk out of her realm, if you do, you do not walk out cured. You walk out changed, humble, carrying the cold, clear air of her alls in your lungs, knowing in yourselves that you have been to the country where all things end, and you bore witness. You sat with its queen, and that knowledge that you can survive your own ending is what makes any new beginning truly trustworthy. She is the guardian of the necessary fall, the sacred no that makes an authentic yes possible. To do shadow work in her name is to bow, finally, to the wisdom of your own collapses, and to begin from that deepest, darkest place, the slow, true work of becoming whole. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep walking your path, trust your rhythm, and remember, the sacred isn't far. It's already within you.